Did anybody help you with finances? We talked about prior to some of these big shifts when you were working in traditional healthcare and you got to that breaking point. But prior to that, did anyone help you with your finances? You had mentioned you didn't have a lot of background in it, but what was your experience with learning?
I never tried to, honestly. I never tried to learn because I always thought as a physician, I would have the earning ability to be able to exchange my hours for a salary. So I never
Mm,
thought that would be an issue. I believe I met with a financial planner once and we went through the numbers and stuff like that. It sounded very overwhelming to me and my husband, and both of us just quit and never made that appointment back. I honestly didn't even know or understand any of the discussions which happened. Other than that, no.
Yeah, it's like a foreign topic. And, if you're not feeling like it's really difficult to make a decision when you're not even really.
Yeah, that topic was just not interesting to me at all. I never
Mm,
cared, never read anything about it. Yeah, I never tried to educate myself, which I think as physicians we should do way early on, even during the residency. When we are not earning enough, I think we need to be because we continue to get older. And then by the time we started to have the attending salary, we are older. All the situations, they creep up, family kids happen. I think somebody needs to tell us that we need to be way more prepared than we are.
yeah, we advocate for like financial literacy for physicians as a financial planner. Like my business is in helping people with their finances, which is sometimes a little counterintuitive to people. That are like, what do you mean you advocate for financial literacy? Like
Yeah.
you're like doing it for people, but that's not actually true. Like what you just said before, when we have these conversations with people that have low financial literacy, it's really difficult for us to make any progress because
Yes.
there's not even a level of knowledge to.
Yeah.
We're not in the business of educating. We're in the
Mhm.
business of saving people time and like shortcutting and helping them make decisions. And so you have to have, for it to be efficient, just like in your real estate business now, like a lot of the people you've hired, I'm sure are doing things you could completely do yourself.
Mhm. Yeah,
But there's a point where in certain situations, like
yeah,
even though you know the thing,
yeah, I don't
like
have to
you
do
you
it.
ought
I
to
don't
like
want to.
outsource or
Yep.
seek some help. But it's a difficult thing to, I think, in medicine and the training, the way that training goes, it seems very difficult. It's not in the curriculum. It's not in the natural training
Yes.
at
And there's
all.
no extra hours. You're working so much.
There's no hours. Yeah.
There's no hours left to kind of even think about finances. I never thought about it. I never talked, even in our break rooms, like we never talked about the finances because
Mm.
everybody, yeah, is excited about the medicine, this or that case, and their pulse shifts and stuff like that. There's just like finances is never open discussion among
Mm.
physicians.
I feel like finances are boring when you start to look at the numbers. It's like, eh. But the more you can connect the dots on like money as a tool
Yeah.
and tool for what, like living a good life. So the
Yeah.
living the good life, there's not enough focus on the living the good life part and using money efficiently to accomplish that. Once you like connect those dots, I think it becomes a lot more motivational. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay, it can make my life better.
Mhm.
And so then it's like, oh, maybe I do want to learn this stuff.
I think I had a little guilt around finances as well, like
Yeah.
thinking about because medicine, most of the people who have gone into medicine, have chosen the medicine, they have the service mindset. They are willing to read thousands of pages of the books, go through all the tests, go through this brutal hours of training,
Hmm.
brutal residency. They are willing to just give your 10 years of life to be able to save somebody else's life. So when they think, oh, and then they get paid or not paid, I'm not talking about what's enough or not. But by the time they're getting paid and stuff like that, that thought process still continues to be same. But I really think there's so much gap already created financially because if somebody starts to work when they're 21, 22, or 20, the amount of financial stability or investment, the compounding, which could happen in 10 years. And by
Mm.
the time somebody who graduates out of residency with this debt, I really think there's just so much discrepancy. And then you could think like, oh, now I'm making way more money, then why should I even like, there's a guilt around it as well. So I almost went through that part as well. And when I went into investing, when I started to think about investing and finances, when I was educating myself, I would not talk about it because I was like, oh, I don't want to be sounding selfish. Here in pandemic, everybody's serving. And I
Mm.
left clinical medicine, even though it was because of our family situation, my health situation, but still there was a guilt around it.
Yeah, that makes it hard. So, like with finances too, it can be a healthy thing. It can also be an unhealthy thing. But like finances play into giving you these options to do things. I imagine you had to have had your finances in some level of order like you downplayed it a little bit. You didn't focus a lot on finances, but your finances have to be in pretty solid shape to be able to like make a shift like this or scale back. And so that's empowering in some level. Or maybe it's just like, thank goodness we can at least do this baseline thing. But I think a lot of people are stuck
Yeah,
financially speaking that can't even consider what we're talking about.
right. And that was so true.
And
Yeah,
that's even more paralyzing on top of all the guilt and all the other stuff and
yes.
the
And
identity.
then they don't want to make decision. They're like, oh, but I can't do it. I do not know what to do next.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, I think life coaches are fantastic for that. So when you feel stuck, or even therapy can be great when you're feeling stuck. I guess it kind of depends on what the cause is. Like if it's like a past experience, sometimes that's like therapy, versus if it's just like you're stuck and you're not sure what the future looks
Yeah.
like, or there's some like mindset issues or whatever. Coaching is great for getting unstuck. And you got unstuck, which is huge. Some people stay stuck forever, but kudos to you for getting unstuck.